I don't get sick, like ever. So when I landed in the ER 2 months ago, barely able to walk, totally out of it with what turned out to be a severe kidney infection, it shook me hard. It was one of the scariest health things I've ever been through. And today I want to talk about what happened, what I learned, and how I'm intentionally healing my body from the inside out. Welcome to the Feel Better, Live Free podcast brought to you by Thinlicious. I'm your host, Ruth Sukup, and here we'll talk about everything from the science of weight loss to practical tips for making your health a priority in the midst of a busy life. It's a little bit nerdy, a little bit funny, and a little bit revolutionary. So buckle up, friend, because it's about to get real. Hey there, and welcome back to the Feel Better, Live Free podcast. Once again, my name is Ruth Sukup, and I am the founder of Thinlicious and the creator of the Thin Adapted System, as well as the New York Times bestselling author of 7 books. And if this is your first time listening, here's what you should know about me. I'm a 47-year-old woman who struggled with my weight and health for 10 years before I finally decided to take a radically different approach. Instead of starting yet another diet, I started researching. I learned that the real key to losing weight and getting healthy isn't about calories, it's about hormones. And when I changed my approach to focus on healing my body from the inside out, I lost 49 pounds without dieting or drugs, and I've kept it off for years. But today's episode is a little different because it's personal. Something happened recently that honestly shook me to my core, and I felt like I needed to share it with you. I'm going to be raw and real with you today. No filter, no sugarcoating, because this experience changed me, and I'm hoping that by sharing it, it might help some of you too. So here's the thing. I'm someone who prides myself on being healthy, on being strong, on having tons of energy. I'm the one who gets up at 4 a.m., runs multiple businesses, cooks healthy meals for my family, and still has energy to hang out with my husband and kids at the end of the day. I eat well, I take care of myself, and I honestly don't get sick. Even during COVID, when everyone around me was getting it, I was fine. I can't even remember the last time I had a cold. So when I started feeling crummy one day a couple months ago, I figured it was just a passing bug. Maybe the flu. I'd take some vitamin C, drink some extra water, and tough it out like I always do. But here's what really happened. I woke up fine that morning, totally normal. I went for my usual walk, came home, and had all sorts of plans for the day. But within half an hour of getting back to the house, I started feeling crappy. And I mean really crappy. Suddenly, I was in bed, shivering uncontrollably. It came on that fast. By that evening, I had a fever, chills, body aches, and I was exhausted in a way I'd never experienced before. By day 3, I couldn't even get out of bed. I was so tired I could barely stand. I had a searing pain in my back that wouldn't go away, but I still figured it's just a really bad flu. I'll get through it. By day 4, though, everything changed. I was so out of it, I couldn't even think straight. I couldn't form complete sentences. Chuck found me curled up on the bathroom floor, shaking uncontrollably, and that's when he put his foot down. We're going to the ER now. This isn't up for debate. I don't even remember much of the drive there. The next thing I really recall is being hooked up to IVs while doctors ran tests and told me I had a severe kidney infection that was dangerously close to becoming septic. Let that sink in. I was on the verge of sepsis, the kind of thing that kills people because I'd been ignoring what my body was trying to tell me. And I'm a smart person. I run a business focused on health. I should know better, but I kept pushing through when my body was screaming at me to stop. By the time I actually got to the ER, my fever was spiking at 104. My white blood cell count was through the roof. I was severely dehydrated. I couldn't walk without assistance. I couldn't think clearly. I was so sick that the doctor told my husband, "It's a good thing you brought her in when you did." That phrase still haunts me. Because what if Chuck hadn't intervened? What if I'd kept pushing through, kept telling myself I could handle it on my own? I might not be here recording this podcast right now. And the truth is, I have an aversion to doctors and medication. I've always believed that the body can heal itself with the right support. And don't get me wrong, I still believe that. But there are times when modern medicine is absolutely necessary, and this was one of them. They treated me with IV antibiotics in the ER, then sent me home with a prescription for more antibiotics. And at first, I did start to feel a little better, but then things took another turn. I developed something called pleurisy, which honestly sounds like an old person disease from the 1800s, but it's an inflammation of the lining of my lungs. And let me just tell you, it was so excruciatingly painful and lasted for weeks. I had to take it super easy in order to stay very calm because laughing or breathing hard was incredibly difficult. Even a deep breath would send shooting pains through my chest. It was humbling. I went from being this strong, independent woman who could handle anything to someone who couldn't even laugh without being in serious pain. And honestly, this whole thing hit me emotionally in a way I wasn't totally prepared for. I think a part of my identity is so wrapped up in being healthy, being strong, being capable, and suddenly I wasn't any of those things. But here's what I realized during that time. Even if you're doing everything right, your body is still vulnerable, and ignoring the signs or pushing through when your body is telling you to stop can be dangerous, sometimes even deadly, and I needed that wake-up call. Now, you might be wondering why I'm sharing this story with you. Well, it's because I know that so many of you listening are just like me. You're busy, you're taking care of everyone else, you're pushing through fatigue and stress, ignoring the little aches and pains, telling yourself you'll rest when you have time. Maybe you've been running on empty for years. Maybe your body's already been whispering to you through fatigue, bloating, cravings, mood swings, headaches, and you've been pushing through. And if you're over 40 like I am, there's something else that's happening. Our bodies don't recover the way they used to. Hormonal shifts, accumulated stress, decades of pushing ourselves to the limit. It all takes a toll. When we were in our 20s, we could pull an all-nighter, drink too much, eat junk, and bounce back the next day. Now, not so much. And my experience made me realize it's time to reframe this whole idea of bouncing back. It's not about forcing our bodies to recover quickly. It's about intentional healing. It's about giving our bodies what they need to restore themselves because our bodies need support, not punishment. They need restoration, not restriction. And that's what I'm focusing on now as I continue to fully recover from this kidney infection and the pleurisy, not just getting back to where I was before, but actually healing my body from the inside out. So now I want to get really practical and share exactly what I'm doing to recover. Because to me, this isn't just about getting over a kidney infection. It's about supporting my entire body through this healing process and coming out stronger on the other side. First things first, I'm taking very targeted supplements, not just throwing pills at the problem, but giving my body specific tools to heal. I've already been taking AG1 for about 6 months now, and I absolutely love it because it simplified my supplement routine so much. I used to have to fill up all my little pill containers with a zillion different capsules, but now I just drink the AG1 first thing in the morning and I'm good to go. But while I'm recovering, I've added a few extra supplements that are specifically focused on healing. A high quality probiotic to replenish my gut flora, especially after those heavy duty antibiotics. The kind with multiple strains that actually survive stomach acid. L-glutamine, which is amazing for healing the intestinal lining. Antibiotics don't just kill bad bacteria, they wipe out the good ones too. And L-glutamine helps repair that damage. D-mannose, which is a natural sugar that prevents bacteria from sticking to the lining of the urinary tract. It's a preventative measure to make sure I don't end up with another kidney infection. And finally, zinc and milk thistle for immune and liver support. The zinc helps my immune system recover, while milk thistle supports my liver, which worked overtime processing all those medications. I want to be clear though, these are short-term therapeutic additions. I'm not just blindly taking supplements forever. I'm giving my body what it needs right now to heal. I've also incorporated specific healing teas into my daily routine, dandelion and nettle tea specifically, which are incredible for kidney and liver detox. I drink these mid-morning or in the evening, and it's become a calming ritual. I take those 5 minutes to just sit and breathe and be grateful for my healing body. Now, I'm not claiming these are magic bullets. They're not. But they are gentle daily acts of healing that support my body's natural processes, and there's something powerful about that consistency. I've actually been drinking water with magnesium and sea salt for a while now, and I'm continuing that practice. It's something I firmly believe in. Hydration isn't just about water, it's about minerals. You need minerals for your cells to actually absorb and use that water. The difference in how I feel when I'm properly mineralized is dramatic. My energy is better, my digestion works smoothly, and I even sleep better. And those minerals are crucial for kidney function too. Those of you who've been following me for a while know I've been using essential oils for years, and they're playing a big role in my recovery right now. I've created a few custom blends that I'm using. First, there's a gut shield blend with peppermint, ginger, and cardamom that I use morning and night to support my digestion. I also created a liver flesh blend with lemon, juniper berry, and rosemary that I apply topically in the morning to support detoxification, along with a kidney calm blend with frankincense, myrrh, and helichrysum that I use in the evening to reduce inflammation and support healing. And then I have a gut rebuild blend with clove, oregano, and thyme that I'll continue using for the next few months, even after I feel better. I apply each of these with a carrier oil, focusing on the areas where they can do the most good, my abdomen for the gut support, my lower back for the kidney blend, and so on. Again, these aren't magic cures, but they're part of my holistic approach to healing. So there's the oils, but we can't really talk about health and recovery without talking about food, because food truly is medicine. It's not just fuel, it's information for your cells. It's the building blocks your body uses to repair and rebuild. I want to be crystal clear about this. I'm not dieting. This isn't about weight loss. It's about healing. So I'm focusing on foods that nourish and support my body right now. First and foremost, I'm consuming a ton of bone broth, not the kind from a box or a powder, but real homemade bone broth that's simmered for 24 plus hours with bones, vegetables, herbs, and a splash of apple cider vinegar to pull out all the minerals. I add collagen peptides for extra gut healing power, along with fresh turmeric and black pepper. The pepper increases turmeric absorption by 2,000%. This broth is liquid gold for healing. It contains glycine and proline, amino acids that help rebuild the gut lining. It's packed with easy to absorb minerals like calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. And it's incredibly soothing for an inflamed system. I'm also focusing heavily on nutrient dense proteins. Grass-fed beef, which is rich in zinc, iron, and B vitamins that support immune function. Pastured eggs, which contain choline for liver health and brain function. Wild-caught salmon for omega-3, S that fight inflammation. Fermented foods are another daily staple. Real sauerkraut, not the pasteurized stuff, kimchi, and kefir. These foods contain probiotics that help rebuild a healthy gut microbiome, which is essential after antibiotics. Plus, they contain enzymes that make digestion easier. I'm loading up on vegetables too. Kale, spinach, collards, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. These are powerhouses of antioxidants, vitamins, and compounds that support detoxification. They help the liver process and eliminate toxins, which is especially important right now. Healthy fats are non-negotiable. Avocados, olive oil, grass-fed butter, coconut oil. These fats are essential for hormone production, nutrient absorption, and cellular repair. They also keep me satisfied longer, which is important when my energy for food preparation is limited. And I'm incorporating specific anti-inflammatory foods, ginger, which is both calming for the digestive system and powerful against inflammation, turmeric with black pepper, as I mentioned earlier, and berries, which are lower in sugar than other fruits, but packed with antioxidants. I'm not cutting out carbs entirely. I definitely still eat real sourdough bread at least every other day, if not more often. The fermentation process makes it easier to digest and reduces anti-nutrients, but I'm avoiding processed carbohydrates and sugar completely. Sugar feeds inflammation, and inflammation is exactly what my body is fighting right now. This approach is nourishing, not restricting. It's giving my body what it needs, not taking away what it wants. And honestly, it's delicious. Healing food doesn't have to taste like punishment. So that's what I'm eating. But there's more to it than just the food. And this next part was hard for me because I like going hard. I'm used to pushing myself. But now is not the time for that. Instead, I'm focusing on rest and gentle movement. Morning walks to reset my circadian rhythm and get some light, gentle exercise. Nothing strenuous, just enough to get my blood flowing. I use an acupressure mat to help relax my nervous system, especially when I feel tense or anxious about my recovery. Red light therapy has been amazing for reducing inflammation and supporting healing. I got a panel that I can use at home, and I do about 10 minutes a day, and I'm prioritizing sleep like never before, going to bed early, even taking naps when my body asks for them. This was a huge shift for me. I used to think naps were a waste of time. Now I see them as healing time because rest is productive when you're healing. It's not lazy, it's necessary. Finally, I'm supporting my body's natural detoxification and drainage pathways because your body can't heal if it can't eliminate waste. I do dry brushing every morning to stimulate lymph movement, which helps clear cellular waste and supports immune function. I take Epsom salt baths 3 times a week, which help draw out toxins through the skin and provide much needed magnesium. And I use castor oil liver packs and activated charcoal to bind and remove toxins from my system. The liver packs are just castor oil applied to the skin over the liver with a warm compress, but they're incredibly effective for supporting liver function. Nothing fancy, nothing high tech, just consistent, gentle support for my body's natural processes. But beyond all these physical practices, this experience has taught me something profound about my relationship with my body. I thought I had everything dialed in. I thought I was doing all the right things. And yet, I still got hit with a kidney infection that could have been life-threatening, followed by pleurisy that forced me to slow down even more. It was a humbling reminder that health isn't something you set and forget. It's not a destination you reach and then you're done. It's an ongoing relationship. And like any relationship, it requires attention, listening, and respect. I wasn't listening to my body when it started telling me something was wrong. I pushed through when I should have stopped. And this isn't just about preventing illness, it's about honoring the daily communication from your body, the signals that tell you when you need rest, nourishment, movement, connection. I've learned to slow down, to listen earlier, to give my body what it needs, not just what fits into my schedule. And I've learned that taking time to heal isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. It's not selfish, it's self-preservation. So here's what I want to ask you today. Where are you ignoring your body's whispers? Where do you need to slow down and start healing? Maybe it's not as dramatic as a kidney infection. Maybe it's chronic fatigue that you've been pushing through, or digestive issues you've been ignoring, or hormonal symptoms you've been trying to power past. Your body is talking to you. Are you listening? I want to challenge you to pick one thing from this episode, just one, and start implementing it. Maybe it's adding minerals to your water. Maybe it's incorporating bone broth or fermented foods. Maybe it's simply going to bed an hour earlier. Start small, but start somewhere. Because healing doesn't mean perfection, it means intention. And if you're ready to dig deeper into supporting your body, go grab my free guide at thinlicious.com/guide. It's called Flip the Switch, and it lays out the simple steps you can take to start healing your body and resetting your metabolism. Because remember, you only get one body. And when you take care of it with love and intention, it shows up for you every time. Even when things go wrong, and they will, no matter how healthy you are, a body that's been nourished and supported has more resources to heal. So please, friend, don't wait for a wake-up call like I had. Start listening now. Start healing now. Your body is so worth it. All right, that's all I have for today. If this resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe or follow to be notified of new episodes. And then I'll see you back here very soon for another new episode. In the meantime, here's to feeling better and living free.